Life is a journey full of unexpected twists and turns. And sometimes you find yourself facing moments of quiet you weren't prepared for, especially as you grow older. Living alone can feel like the world around you has gone silent, leaving you in stillness and, at times, with a sense of emptiness. But you know what? Loneliness isn't as frightening as it seems. In fact, it can be a precious opportunity to reconnect with yourself, reflect on your life, and find joy in the simplest things. Maybe you felt lost before, when your children grew up and started their own lives, or when a beloved partner was no longer by your side. The days may feel long, and you might ask yourself, what am I living for now? But let me tell you, this isn't the end of the story. It's a new beginning. It's your chance to rediscover what makes you happy, find meaning in every moment, and embrace the freedom that comes with this stage of life. Living alone isn't just about independence. It's an opportunity to truly love and care for yourself. It's a time to nurture your well-being, revisit hobbies you once loved, or even try something completely new. Every day is a blank canvas, and you have the power to create something beautiful with it. In this video, we'll explore ways to live alone while still finding joy and purpose in life. Let loneliness become a companion that helps you grow stronger, freer, and happier. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on future content. Your journey can start today, and I'm excited to be here with you every step of the way. 1. Accept change as a natural part of life. In the journey of life, each of us experiences inevitable changes, particularly in old age. Change becomes more apparent than ever. Loved ones pass away, children grow up and leave, and health is no longer the same. But instead of viewing these changes as losses, we can accept them as a natural part of life. When we understand that every change brings new opportunities, we will feel less fear and sorrow. The ancient Greek philosopher Diogenes is a perfect example of embracing and utilizing change. Diogenes was famous for his simple lifestyle and stoic philosophy. He chose to live alone, separated from society, in search of inner peace. Diogenes spent much of his life in a wooden barrel, distancing himself from material temptations and social obligations. Though he lived in solitude, he did not feel lonely. Instead, he used his time alone to reflect on life and philosophy, finding joy in simplicity and freedom. Diogenes once said, "One should not fear loneliness, for loneliness is a great teacher of life." Through Diogenes' story, we learn that loneliness does not have to be a burden. He overcame solitude by accepting it as a part of life and used it to grow personally. Diogenes transformed isolation into a means to gain a deeper understanding of himself and the world around him, finding joy and meaning in his simple life. 2. Self-care is a journey of self-love. When living alone, self-care is not just a responsibility, but a way to love oneself. It could be as simple as preparing a good meal, taking a daily walk, or spending time resting and relaxing. Taking care of ourselves helps us recognize our own value and appreciate what life has to offer. Clara, at 75, has lived through many ups and downs in life and understands that self-care is not only about maintaining physical health, but also about nurturing the soul. Every morning, she starts her day with a gentle cup of herbal tea and 15 minutes of meditation. For her, this is not just a routine, but a ritual that helps her connect with her inner self, bringing peace and refreshment to start the day. Clara believes that physical health is the foundation for a free and healthy life in old age. Therefore, she focuses on maintaining a balanced diet, full of fresh and nutritious foods. Her meals often include plenty of greens, fruits, and nuts, rich sources of vitamins and essential minerals. She also incorporates fiber-rich foods like oats and brown rice to support digestion. Clara limits her sugar and processed food intake, opting instead for olive oil and heart-healthy vegetable oils in her cooking. Her typical breakfast consists of a warm bowl of oatmeal, topped with some berries and chia seeds, providing energy and nutrients for the day ahead. Regarding exercise, Clara maintains an active lifestyle with gentle but effective workouts. Every morning after meditation, she enjoys walking around her small garden or in a nearby park. Walking not only helps her stay physically flexible, but also gives her a chance to breathe in the fresh air and feel connected to nature. Sometimes, she joins yoga classes for seniors, where she practices gentle movements that enhance her flexibility and balance. In addition, Clara practices strength exercises at home, like lifting light weights or using resistance bands to keep her muscles strong. She believes that maintaining muscle strength is vital for independence in daily activities, from walking to climbing stairs and even doing household chores. By combining a healthy diet with regular exercise, Clara not only maintains good health, but also keeps a positive and joyful spirit. She understands that self-care is a continuous journey, where every small action contributes to building a healthy and happy life. At 75, Clara still leads a vibrant life, feeling confident and content with the choices she's made in caring for herself. 3. Focus on quality over quantity in relationships. As we age, many of us will notice that the number of friends and family around us gradually decreases. Close friends may pass away, and children grow up, start families, and move away to build their own lives. This can easily make us feel lonely and disconnected. But it's also a time to reassess the value of relationships in our lives. Instead of focusing on the number of people around us, we should prioritize building meaningful relationships based on sincerity and understanding. There's a thought-provoking story about Margaret, a British woman living in a small village outside London. Margaret, now over 80, is a widow who has lived alone since her husband passed away more than 15 years ago. Throughout her life, Margaret was devoted to her family and community, always at the center of family gatherings and the person who kept everyone connected. But as her husband passed, and her children grew up and started their own families far from home, Margaret began to feel a void, loneliness, and a sense of being lost in the once lively house filled with laughter. At first, Margaret felt left behind, as though life had moved on without her. She missed family dinners, long conversations with her husband, and the bustling energy of her children when they were young. But instead of letting loneliness take over her life, Margaret chose to seek out new joys and connections. Rather than trying to fill the void by expanding her social circle, Margaret focused on nurturing the quality relationships she already had. She maintained a close bond with her neighbor, Rose, a woman of similar age and circumstances. The two met often, sharing tea and stories about life, family, and memories from their younger days. The sincerity and understanding between them fostered a deep, lasting friendship. Margaret also became an active participant in her village's senior club, where she met people of her generation. Instead of joining simply to pass the time, Margaret formed deep connections with a few friends in the club who shared similar interests and life views. They regularly spent time together, enjoying activities like reading, gardening, and even small trips around the region. These relationships not only helped Margaret feel less lonely, but also brought her deep joy and fulfillment. Meaningful, genuine, and lasting relationships bring us warmth and support, helping us through moments of loneliness and hardship in life. For the elderly, this becomes even more important when health and time no longer allow for maintaining a broad social network as before. For finding joy in simple things, living alone doesn't have to mean feeling empty if we know how to find joy in the simple things around us. Sometimes, the happiest moments come from the little things we often overlook in the hustle and bustle of daily life. Especially in old age, when time seems to slow down, finding joy in the simple things can be the key to maintaining optimism and a love for life. Take George, an 80-year-old man living in the Italian countryside. After his wife passed away and his children grew up, George lived alone in a small house by the sea. Instead of feeling lonely in his empty home, he began to find joy in the small things around him, things he might not have noticed when he was busy with family and work. Every morning, George would wake up at dawn, step out onto his balcony, and breathe in the fresh sea air. He spent a few minutes listening to the gentle sound of the waves hitting the shore, watching the birds soar across the sky, and feeling the first rays of sunlight on his face. For him, this was the most wonderful moment of the day, a peaceful time when he felt deeply connected to nature and the universe. In the afternoons, George often took walks along the shore, picking up stones with unusual shapes or seashells that had washed up on the beach. These small, shiny stones, reflecting the sunlight, were like gifts from the sea, each one telling its own story of its journey across the vast ocean. George carefully selected the most beautiful stones, bringing them home and arranging them into unique shapes on a wooden shelf in his living room, a small corner he called his treasures of the sea. Each evening, after a simple dinner of garden-grown food, George would sit by the window, listening to the chirping of insects and gazing at the starry sky. He often sipped a glass of homemade red wine, crafted from grapes grown in his garden, and reflected on life. The twinkling stars in the night sky, the fragrant wine, and the peace of nature brought him a deep, simple joy, making him feel content with his life. Sometimes, the greatest joys don't come from extravagant or complicated things, but from the simplest, most authentic moments in life. Enjoying these simple pleasures not only calms our souls, but also deepens our connection with ourselves and the world around us. 5. Practicing gratitude to nourish the soul. Gratitude is one of the deepest and most powerful emotions a person can experience, especially as we enter the later years of life. For the elderly, gratitude is not just about recognizing and appreciating the good things in life, but also a reflection of wisdom, shaped through years of experience and reflection. The wisdom of those who have lived long is not just found in knowledge or an expansive understanding of the world, but in their ability to view life with a calm heart, appreciating each moment, no matter how small. After experiencing many ups and downs, people learn to value what they have, even the seemingly ordinary and simple things. Gratitude, in this way, becomes a way of life, a way to nurture the soul and maintain inner peace. Practicing gratitude doesn't require anything complex or extravagant. It could be as simple as waking up each morning, watching the sunlight filter through the curtains, feeling its warmth on your skin, and silently giving thanks for a new day. It could be taking a few minutes each day to reflect on the things that have brought joy and meaning to your life. Whether it's a brief meeting with a friend, a warm cup of tea on a quiet afternoon, or simply the fact that you are still here, present in the world. Gratitude also lies in the ability to recognize that, despite life's many challenges and difficulties, there is always something to be thankful for. Elderly people, with their rich life experiences, often possess this ability naturally. They understand that life is not always smooth, but it's through these challenges that they have grown, learning patience, love, and how to live deeply. Think of Helen, an 85-year-old woman living in a small village in the French countryside. After losing her husband, she faced deep loneliness. But instead of letting the sadness take over, Helen chose to nurture gratitude. Every evening, before going to bed, she would sit by the window, looking out at the flower garden her husband had planted when he was still alive, and feel her heart fill with love and gratitude. She was grateful for the many happy years she had shared with the man she loved, for the full and meaningful life she had lived, even though she was now alone. Helen also kept a journal where she wrote down things she was grateful for each day. She recorded memories of her late husband, visits from her grandchildren, or simply sunny days when she could sit on her porch and listen to the birds sing. Writing these things down helped Helen not only preserve precious memories, but also strengthen her gratitude and love for life. No matter her circumstances, for those who have lived through much, gratitude is not just an emotion, it's a choice. They choose to view life through the lens of gratitude, and in doing so, they find peace and joy. It is gratitude that helps them nurture their soul, helping them overcome sadness and hardship, and allowing them to live a fulfilling life. even in the face of life's final challenges. Gratitude is the wisdom of the experienced. It's not just a way of seeing life, but a path to nurturing a peaceful and happy soul. In the stillness of old age, gratitude is the light that guides us through the darkness of loneliness, bringing the brightness of peace and contentment. 6. Using solitude as an opportunity for self-discovery. Loneliness, when viewed from a positive perspective, is not merely the absence of others, but an opportunity to confront ourselves. Instead of seeing loneliness as a burden, we can turn it into a precious space for self-discovery, understanding ourselves better, and developing aspects of ourselves that may have been neglected, especially in old age. When the noise and busyness of life have quieted, solitude can become a companion that helps us rediscover ourselves in the silence. 7. Embracing personal freedom and living life your own way. One of the greatest gifts of old age, particularly when living alone, is personal freedom, no longer tied to work, children, or social responsibilities. This is an ideal time to truly live the way you want. Explore forgotten hobbies and passions, and freely do what brings you joy and satisfaction. Take Henry, a 72-year-old American man who used to work as a civil engineer. Throughout his life, he worked hard and devoted himself to his family and career. But deep down, he always harbored a dream he had never had the chance to pursue: to travel across the U.S. in an RV. When his wife passed away and his children started families of their own, Henry felt an emptiness in his life. But instead of letting loneliness take over, he decided to turn the remaining years into an adventure. He sold his large suburban home and bought an RV, a dream he had long held. With this vehicle, Henry began his journey across the U.S., from the East Coast to the West Coast, discovering new places, meeting interesting people, and living a life of freedom. Every morning, waking up in his RV parked at a national park or quiet beach, Henry felt truly alive. He no longer had to worry about getting up early for work, nor did he need to follow any set schedule. He could stop wherever he liked, spend entire days fishing, hiking, or simply sitting outside with a hot cup of coffee, watching the sunrise. On this journey, Henry discovered many things about himself that he had never realized before. He found that even though life had changed and he had experienced loss, he could still find joy and fulfillment in the simplest things. The freedom allowed him to pursue dreams he had once thought impossible and gave him the feeling of youthful energy he hadn't felt in years. Henry's journey was not just about exploring the U.S., but also about exploring himself. Each new stop, each new person he met, each new experience, he had helped him better understand himself and what he truly loved and desired in life. Living alone in old age doesn't have to mean loneliness or sadness. Instead, it can be a journey to rediscover yourself and enjoy the freedom you may not have fully embraced before. As Mr. Henry's story shows, this stage of life can be a time to live authentically, pursue passions that were once set aside, and savor every little moment that life has to offer. Old age, especially when living alone, comes with its challenges. But from what we've shared today, I hope you realize that those quiet moments don't have to be feared. Instead, they can be an opportunity to slow down, find peace within yourself, and uncover meaning in the simplest things. Whether it's taking a morning walk, enjoying a cup of tea, or revisiting hobbies you've always wanted to explore, there is joy to be found in every day. Remember, life isn't about waiting for the perfect moment to start enjoying it. Even when living alone, you can turn every day into a source of happiness and make it a journey of self-discovery. Take care of your health, keep a positive mindset, and nurture gratitude. It's these small yet powerful actions that can make your later years more meaningful than ever. Thank you for spending your time with me today. If you found this message valuable, feel free to leave a comment below and share your thoughts. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so we can stay connected for future videos. Wishing you a life full of happiness, freedom, and fulfillment. See you next time.